homework on solving logarithmic equations, numbers 1 through 20, skip 6, 8, 10, and 14. So we have number 1, and clearly this is a log equals a log case. So when it's log equals a log, all we have to do is just set both of these equals to each other. 5x equals 2x plus 9. Solve for x by subtracting both sides by 2x, getting variables on one side and constants on the other. Divide both by 3, x is equal to 3. And when you guys plug this into both of these, right, it will be positive. We'll have log of positive numbers. So this is going to be fine. Now, when we do number 2, again, it's a log equals a log, so we're going to set both of the arguments or the things inside the parentheses equals to each other. And now we just solve for x. So I'm going to get my variables on the right hand side. So we get plus x, and I'm going to get my constants to the other. And what you notice is that we're going to have x is equals to 0. And if we plug in 0 into here, we'll get positive values, because this is going to be 0, 10 minus 0, 0. Here, if we plug in x 0 into there, 10 minus 0 is 0. So that is going to be a perfectly nice answer. Number 3, again, log equals a log, so we set the parentheses equals to each other. And now we just get variables on one side and constants on the next. So I'm going to get my variables on the left-hand side, and I'm going to get my constants on the right-hand side. So we get 9p is equals to 7, and divide both sides by 9. So p is going to equal to 7 ninths. 7 ninths. And if we plug in p into here and here, we're going to get positive values in here. So as a result, this is going to be our answer. Okay. Number 4, again, log equals a log, so we're going to set both of these equals to each other. And then we solve for k. Subtract, I'm going to get my variables on the left-hand side, and I'm going to get my constants on the right-hand side. Divide both by 2, k is equals to 2. Okay. Number 5. So again, we have a log equaling a log, so we gotta set the argument or the quantity on the inside of the parentheses equals to each other. So I'm gonna get my variables to go on the left-hand side, and I'm gonna get my constants to go to the right-hand side. Divide both by 2, a equals -1. And if we plug in -1 in for our a's, you guys, we get positive log values on the inside. So that will be perfectly fine. Number 7. Okay, so first of all, you guys, now we want to get this log isolated. So that means we should add this 10 over to the other side. So we got log base of b, base b of n plus 3. So log base 3, n plus 3 is equals to 0. And I'm going to remind everyone, you have to convert log form. So that's log form, everybody. So you now have to convert it to log form to be in exponential form, which is b to the x equals a. So you guys are gonna have to know how to do that. So we have log form right now, so now convert it to exponential form. Take the base, raise it to this power equals the argument. And if you literally compare this, you guys, to this, you will see that it is how we change log form to exponential. 3 to the 0 is 1, and then solve for n by subtracting 3 to both sides. N is equals to -2. And if we plug in -2 into there, it is perfectly fine. We'll still get a positive log value. 9, again, we need to isolate this log. So subtract 2 to both sides. Log of -m is equals to 2. And now we need to convert this because it's a log equaling some type of number into exponential form. So log to an exponential form. So we take the base. Now if we don't see a base here, you guys, that means the base is automatically 10. So 10 to the second equals negative m. 10 to the second is 100. Divide both by negative 1. M is equals to negative 100. And if we plug in negative 100 into there, it's going to be negative of negative 100 for positive 100. So that will be perfectly fine. Number 11. So this one's a log equals a log. So we just set both parentheses equals to each other. And now, since we're dealing with quadratic, because the highest degree is 2, we just solve for v. So when we solve for v, let's add 12v to this side. V squared plus 12v plus 35 is equal to negative 1, and add the 1 over. V squared plus 12v plus 36 is equals to 0. Factor that, we get v plus 6 times v plus 6. So that means v has to equals to negative 6. And if we plug in negative 6 into either of these, they're both going to be a positive value on the inside of the parentheses. So this will be our answer. Number 12, again, a log base 9 is equal to log base 9. So we set the parentheses equals to each other. And now let's set this equation equals to 0 because we have a quadratic. So because x squared is already positive over there, you guys, I'm just going to move everything to the right hand side. So I'm going to move 11x over. And I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. 0 equals x squared plus 11x plus 28. So now we factor this. X plus 7 times x plus 4. And we're going to get x equals negative 7 and x equals negative 4. And if you guys plug in either of these into these, you're going to get a positive value back for both logs. So both of these will be our answers. 13, log equals a log, so parenthesis equals the other parenthesis, right? Because we're dealing with quadratics, we got to get the equation to equals to 0. So I'm going to move everything to the right hand side. So we get 0 equals b squared minus 6b minus 16. And when you guys factor that, that's going to be b minus 8 times b plus 2, which means b equals 8 and b equals negative 2. And again, if you guys plug in either of these into these logarithms, on the inside of the logarithms, you're going to get a positive value. So both of these are going to be our answer. Skip 14. Well, that doesn't exist for you guys, so it doesn't really matter. 15. Okay, so now, it looks like we're going to get some log equals a number, which means we certainly should bring our log form and change it to exponential form back, right? But remember, we need to get one singular log. So log of x times 8 for 8x equals 2. That's your guys' product rule. And what's the base of this log? The base of this log is 10. So now we finally have a log equals a number, so now we're going to change it to be in exponential form. Take the base, raise it to that power, and make it equals to 8x. 10 squared is 100. Divide both sides by 8. And then we can divide top and bottom by 4. X is equals to 25 over 2. And if we plug in that into here, you guys, that's a positive value. So x equals 25 over 2. 16. So again, if you guys just do a quick glance, we're going to get a log equals to some number. So that means eventually we are going to have to change it from log form to exponential form. So we're going to condense these logs, but it's a minus sign, so it's going to be x divided by 2 equals 1. the base of this log is 10. So if it's not there, it's 10. And now change it to exponential form. 10 to the first power equals x over 2. And to get rid of this divide by 2, we need to multiply both sides by 2. Those cancel, x is equals to 20. And if we plug in 20 into here, you guys, that's fine because that gives us a positive log value. Again, over here, we're going to have another log type versus some number. So that means we're going to have to convert it from log form to exponential form eventually. So log of, so condense it. So we get 1 log 2 times x for 2x, because that's product rule, equals 1. This is a base of 10. So 10 to the first power equals 2x. Solve for x, divide both by 2, x is equals to 5. And if we plug in 5 into there, that's a positive value, so it's a safe answer. Okay, over here. So I see logs on the left and logs on the right. So this definitely seems to be a log equals log case, right? But we need to condense this, so it's going to be log of 7 times x for 7x equals log of 37. Log log, so that means we just set both of the parentheses equals to each other. Divide by 7, x equals 37 over 7. And if you guys plug it into there, 37.7 is a positive number. So that is going to be our answer for that one. Okay, number 19. So looks like we're going to get a log on this side and a number on the right. So that means it's going to be, we got to convert it from log form to exponential. So condense these. Log base 8 of 2 times 4x squared, because it's positive, so that's 8x squared equals 1. Now convert log form to become exponential. 8 to the first power equals 8x squared. We solve for this, so divide both sides by 8. X squared is equals to 1, and we can square root. We can square root both sides. Oh, that's why. I know what to do. So x squared equals 1, and then square root both sides, and we get x equals plus or minus 1. And if we plug in either 1 or negative 1 into here, you guys, we're going to get the same. We're going to get a nice positive value from here. So both of these will be our answer. And lastly, number 20. So it looks like we're going to get log here and log here, you guys. So it's going to be a log equals log case. So log, condense these, right, you guys? But look, there's a minus sign, so it's quotient rule. Log base 9 of x plus 6 divided by x equals log base 9 of 2. Log log, so that means we just set both of them equals to each other. So now let's cross multiply, so we get x plus 6 equals 2x. Subtract x to both sides, and we get 6 is equals to x. So x equals 6, and if we plug in 6 into here, we get positive log value, so this will be a perfectly fine answer. So it does require practice, it does require effort, and you guys just, try to do your guys' best to understand this stuff. Alright? Good luck, everyone. Peace.